You're now officially recording. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the K-2 Phonics Spelling and Word Study webinar. If you're just joining us, here is the bit.ly to access the slides. And Rahima, who is our lovely moderator, is putting the sign-in link for you to follow there. And she'll kind of put that in a couple times as people continue to arrive. So let's get started and go over what our outcomes and agenda are going to be. So in this hour, and it should be an hour, maybe even a little bit less, we're going to kind of really do two things. One is we're going to consider how to use different digital platforms to teach phonics. And we're going to really spend the majority of the time exploring how to create an interactive digital phonics lessons in Seesaw using Screencastify and other platforms and other online resources. So I'm going to show you an example of a Seesaw lesson I created, and then we're going to walk through how to create a lesson. If you're all just joining, please unmute yourselves and put any questions that you have in the chat, and Rahima will pause me to bring any of those questions to the whole group. Or if you need to unmute yourself, that's fine as well. But try to put your questions in the chat, which will keep us into our hour time frame. Okay, let's continue. So when we think about creating phonics lessons, whether digitally or not, they still follow the same lesson design. So we want to be really mindful of that as we're creating them. And that is that it should include some explicit instruction where we're telling the students what they're going to do, and then that they have time to practice and apply those skills. And the Seesaw activities can be both. It can actually be the explicit instruction where you're explaining it, as well as a space for them then to go and access that activity and apply it. So we just kind of want to keep in mind those best practices that we try to always do with phonics lessons, which is to have them be very interactive so the kids are able to manipulate things to make meaning throughout the lesson. So we want to just be mindful of that. And that's what these lessons are actually great for, is they're a lot of interaction. They're not just worksheets or just, assignments. So they're really fun and kids actually enjoy doing them. So to begin, the digital platforms that we're going to be talking about to create these lessons are using Zoom, Seesaw, and Screencastify. If you are unfamiliar with any of these platforms, we definitely recommend taking any of the Department of Technology webinars on these. They have recorded webinar sessions on all of these. So that you can familiarize yourself with how they work. We're not going to really go over kind of the nuts and bolts of these. It's really just going to pertain to how you would use these to create a phonics lesson. So if anything that I'm saying is unfamiliar to you, just know that you can then, after this, in upcoming days, you can access those recorded webinars, or go on to Seesaw and Screencastify yourself. And they have great tutorials that range from like 5 minutes, to 15 minutes or longer. But that's kind of how I taught myself to use them, is that they're pretty explicit and pretty easy to use. So I recommend that as well. So when we think about these platforms, I just kind of want to go over and summarize how we're going to use them. So Zoom is used for either live or recorded lessons. There can be the explicit instruction for the students. Seesaw is where you can really create those interactive activities and you can post assignments to students. So that's kind of the practice and apply. And then Screencastify is how you can record really short video instructions or teaching to provide examples for students. So that's also kind of some explicit instruction for them. And so for these lessons, none of these operate on their own. It's like we're going to integrate and combine all three of these platforms together to create a lesson. So you're going to see how they all work together, which is pretty cool. Also, when we think about what resources we use to create the activities, I found that using the F&P online resources have been really helpful. And so how this works is in the online resources, which look like this. I think you guys have all seen this. So if you are familiar and have been using the F&P phonics spelling and word study kits, you have access to these online resources, which you've seen before. And these resources include all the alphabet charts, there's sort templates, there's word cards and picture cards and game boards. And so all of those resources can be used to create these units. But you also could use, any templates or clip art or lots of other resources too, which I'm going to show you in the end how, I create a lesson not using F&P resources, but just any other resources. This here is a link to, if you're on the slideshow, this is a link to the sign-in for those F&P resources. All right, so let's show an example of how to create a digital phonics lesson. So the first thing I want to do is show you an example of a lesson so you can kind of see what an example can look like. And then we're going to walk through how to create this specific example. So I'm going to go into my Seesaw account, and I am going to scroll down to find the lesson that I want to share with you all. Okay, so here it is. So this is just my Seesaw activity. I just made a classroom of really one myself to kind of explore and try these things out. So I'm going to go in as if I was a student, and I'm going to add a response because I want to show you what this looks like. I'm going to choose myself. Okay, this is the template that kind of comes up for students of the activity. Here are the instructions for them that tell them what they're going to do, okay? So what I've done is I've done written instructions. There's about 7 steps, and you can see, they're kind of long. I try to just say, click on a picture and put it in a column, match the word, and give really step-by-step instructions. But this can be hard for students to follow. And so what's even better is to provide a video of the instructions that show them an example of exactly how it goes. So that is included here. So students would click on this video, okay? And then they could play the video directions. So I'm going to play this for you.
Students, today we're going to match words that change the middle vowel sound. To do this, you're going to click on a picture, say the word, and drag it into a column. Pan.
Katie.
Find.
Yes? Oh, wait. Yes. Rahima?
It's coming in very, very choppy. We can barely hear.
Oh, really? I think it's because of my internet. Hey, Miles, are you on? Just 1 second, okay? I apologize. My internet is very spotty. How's it going now, Rahima?
It's better now, but it's still
a little iffy?
Yeah.
Ah, okay. There's nothing I can kind of do about that.
We can hear you clearly now, but just your face is coming in. It's actually okay. I think you're okay.
Okay, I'm going to go back to sharing, and we'll keep going. But definitely interrupt me if it's not working.
Everyone turns off their video for now, so you don't see people's faces. That also will help with the bandwidth.
Oh, great. Okay, thank you, Lisa, for that. So Miles, I'm going to need you to not play though. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Rahima, can you see that?
Yes.
Okay, great. Okay, so let me go back to full screen and continue playing it.
Find the word that changes the middle vowel sound. Net, no. Log, no. Pen, pen. Then you're going to say the 2 words and listen for the different vowel sound. Pan, pen. Then you're going to repeat with all of the pictures. Map, map. So, mop, mop. That changes the vowel sound from a to off. I'm going to click on it and drag it to the second column. And I'm going to say the 2 words and listen for the change in middle vowel sound. Map, mop. After you put all of the pictures into the columns, net, nut. Then you'll click on the pen and draw a line between the 2 pictures that change the middle vowel sound. Map, mop. Net, nut. After you're all done, then you'll click on the mic and you'll read the words. And it says start recording. Pan, pen. Map, mop. Net, nut. And you'll press pause to stop. And when you're all done, you click on the done to give it to me. Thanks.
Okay, so that was the directions that the students would then see. Then they would close that out, and they would come to the written directions. They would close that. And then here they would just do the activity. They would just click on it. 1 second. They would just click on it and drag it. So they would just be doing the activity from there. Okay, and then when they're all done, they would click on it. Okay, so that's how that activity goes. Okay. So Raheem, I'll pause here. Is there any questions that kind of came up that people would like me to answer?
Not really. Kobe did just want to clarify that the F&P resources are only in English.
Oh, they're
right?
only in English. Okay, great. Yeah, so that would be, and I'm going to show you how you would use other resources as well. Okay.
Yeah.
But thank you for that.
Yeah.
Okay, so so that was basically what we're going to work on right now to kind of create is doing an activity and doing the screencastify for the video instructions. Okay, so yes.
Sorry, so someone wanted to know, just to clarify, you created the project in Seesaw and recorded the instructions in Screencastify?
Yes, and I'm going to show you each of those steps. Okay, so you will know how to do all of that. Okay, so the first step is to kind of get your resources together. Okay, which means the templates you're going to use, maybe the clip art you're going to use, or the picture or the words or the different resources that you want to use for the activity. So I'm going to show you using the F&P resources, but again at the end I'm going to show you how you could kind of create and make your own. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is go to the F&P resources, find the resources you want, download them as PDFs on your computer, and then open those PDFs and create screenshots. So I'm going to walk you through how this works. Okay, so I'm going to go into my F&P lessons. I know the lesson I wanted to do, which was changing the middle vowel sound, which is the word solving actions, number 14. So I go to here and I click on the actual resource. Okay, and this has the sort template that I'm going to use, and it has the pictures that I want to use. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to download this, okay, as a PDF document, and I'm going to name it, middle vowel sort. Okay, and I'm going to save it. Okay, so then what I want to do is I'm going to go back to my slides. Okay, so I've downloaded and saved the PDFs on the computer. I just did step number 2. Okay, now I'm going to open the PDF and create the screenshots. Okay, so I'm going to go into my Finder. I want to go to my documents where I just saved it, and you can see middle vowel sort. So I'm going to open it up. Okay, and then here it is. Okay, now I need to shrink it down a little bit because I need to take a screenshot of my template. Okay, so I want to make it look like that. So, because this template is the template I'm going to use. So I do Shift-Command-4, and I just create a screenshot of just the template that I want to use. Okay. Then I want to take screenshots of these pictures. Okay, so again, I'm going to do Shift-Command-4 for each of these pictures. I'm not going to do all of these in front of you, but you'll get the point. So I'll do 1, I'll do 2. Okay, so you get the point. I'm just going to take and do screenshots for all of those. Okay. Okay, any questions, Rahima, on that?
No, not yet.
Okay, great. Okay, so now that I've got all my resources together, now I'm going to do the next step, which is creating it in Seesaw. Okay, so I'm going to shift this down. Okay, so I'm not going to kind of, all these steps are here for you, but I'm going to just walk you through each step right now. So I'm not going to read these all right now. But the first thing I want to do is I want to go to my Seesaw activity library. So I'm going to go back in here and I want to create a new activity. So I'm going to do add. Okay, and it's going to prompt me to kind of like, do I want to go from my library of resources or do I want to create a new activity? I'm going to create a new activity. Okay, so now you're just basically, I need to name it. So I'm going to call it, you know, middle val sort or something like that. Okay, I'm not going to type in the instructions yet because I just want to create the activity first and I'm going to come back and type the instructions. What I need to do, what I want to do is add this template for the student responses. I just kind of want to create what it's going to look like first. So I click on that and I have all these options of what I can do. Okay, I'm going to upload the template that I wanted to use. Okay, so I'm actually, there's different ways you can do this. I can select it from my computer, I can select the screenshot, or I can just drag it. Okay, so it's over here on my desktop, and I'm just gonna drag it here. Okay, so now when I've done that, that's all I wanted to add. I just need to get my template, my sort template up there. Okay, so now I can, whoops, I wanna take, my pen is still on, which I don't want on. Okay, so that is what the template that I'm going to use to drag the pictures in. Now I need to get the pictures onto the activity board. So I'm going to, first of all, draw this down here. And I'm just going to click on the pictures and drag them in. And then I'm just going to resize them to be the size I want them to be. Okay, so I did map. I'm going to bring map in. Okay, and again, you just resize them down to the size you want them to be. Let's do pen. Pen in and resize it. Oops. There we go. And let's see, where's my pan? Where's my pan? Okay. And resize. Okay, and I would just keep doing that. And you can move them around. You can put them where you want to put them. You know, you can do whatever you want. So basically, I'm just getting all of my different screenshots that I took and just putting them on the activity. Okay, then when I'm done, I just click done. And it saves it. Okay, so now you can see the templates attached and the activity is there. Okay, so let's go back to our slides to show what I've done. Okay, so I went to my activity, I created a new one, I added the template, which I uploaded. Okay, and you could either select from the computer or you can just drag it onto your screen. And then I added the screenshot images for the F&P resources. Okay, and then I just resized the images as I needed. So Rahima, any questions about this step?
Oh, a colleague did mention that they find it easy to record instructions on Seesaw, but they haven't needed Screencastify yet. So, but willing to start. Can you just talk through like why you might record on Screencastify versus Seesaw?
Absolutely. Let me go to the next step because that's what we're going to do in the next step. Okay. So now we have to think about the written instructions and then the maybe recorded instructions. So let me show you. So when you're writing the instructions for an activity, you want to really keep the steps like small and broken down into, so you don't want like multiple steps in one. You want to say like, do this, do this, do this, just really small steps, and you're going to list them. And then what's really helpful is adding those little visual icons of the check mark or the microphone or the pen. And to do that, you just type these colons around the word, okay? So let me show you what that looks like. So in this activity, I might say something like, you know, click on the picture and put it in the left column, okay? And then 2, you know, find the picture, blah, 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 that changes the middle sound. And put it in the right column. Okay, I'm not gonna keep typing all this. I don't wanna waste your time, but if I wanted to say, like, when I say I wanted them to select the pen, I would say select the, and I would do colon, pen, colon, you know, and draw a line, okay? And so that is just how it will show those little icon images, which are really helpful. So now in Seesaw, you can continue to add voice instructions, okay? And a voice instruction is just where you are gonna read out loud what it is to do. But what you don't do with the voice instructions is you don't actually physically go in and do the activity. So the difference is adding this multimedia instructions, which is the video. Because what I found is that sometimes, like, the voice instruction is just like, it's great for auditory, but I think that's what's even more helpful is when you have the video where you're actually showing the kids what to do. So I want to pause, Rahima, and go back to the person that asked that question. Did they find the difference then between, and then I'm going to show you how to do the Screencastify. But did that person who had the question have any other questions about that?
That was me, Katie.
Hi.
Sorry, I know our video. Should I turn my video back off?
No.
Yeah, no, I think it's great. I had looked through Screencastify to kind of just see what it was, but you're right. You can actually kind of do the work and they can see you actually doing it. That's totally true. I'm wondering if there's a way to use the, because you can use a sample student on Seesaw, but I wonder if there's a way to, do you know if there's a way to use that as your instructions also, or is that just
No. Yeah, no, I don't, because again, the student example is just going to show you the completed activity versus the actual doing of the activity. Seems to be really a good example. So let me show you, because this.
I've been also using this sample student before I send the activity to my real students. I use the sample student to actually manipulate it myself to make sure it's okay to use. But yeah, I don't think you can do it the way that Screencastify.
Yeah. So let me show you, because the Screencastify is super easy. Like, I'd never done it before, and it just, I just playing around once or twice with it, and it was very easy. So let me just show you that. Okay, so those are the written instructions. You can add voice instructions, but I'm going to show you how to add a multimedia video instruction. Okay, so to do that, I'm just going to go back here again just to show you. So here are the written steps that I'm going to take you through, okay? And we'll go back over these after I do the activity. Okay, so I want to now, and I'm going to move this up here so you don't see that. I want to now access this template, and I'm going to, well, first I'm going to save it. Okay, so it's saving it. Because I'm going to access it like a student would, and I'm going to walk through doing the activity. So let me save it first. My internet is working. Oh, it is unstable, which is not good. Okay, so now that I have this, now I can go in and I can edit the activity. Okay, so I'm going to edit the activity. To edit, I need to go to the template and open it. Okay, so this is what I'm now going to do. I'm going to do the activity as a video as I'm doing it. Okay, so so I have the Screencastify icon added to my Chrome browser. You can just open again, get into Screencastify however you get into it. But when you click on this here, okay, this comes up to basically record, okay? And so I'm gonna click record. It's gonna give me 10 seconds because I added, when you first do it, it's only 3 seconds, which is not enough time to get ready to go. So I added it to be 10 seconds. And I'm just gonna, right now, I'm just gonna show you how I record it, and then I'm gonna show you how I upload it. Oh, that's my dishwasher going off. Okay, here we go. Students, today we're going to do an activity to match words that change the middle sound. To do this, you're going to click on a picture and put it in the left column. Oops, sorry, I've got my pen on. I need to erase that first. Sorry, this is not going to be part of the directions. Okay, let me click on this. Okay, to do that, first you're going to click on the picture and drag it to the left column and saying the word pan. Then you're going to click on the picture that changes the middle sound and put it in the right column. Pen. Pan, pen. Then you're going to do that with all of the pictures. Map, mop. Drag it to the right column. When you're done, you're going to click on the pen and you're going to draw a line between the two pictures saying both words. Pan, pen. Map, mop. When you're done with that, you'll click on the mic and read the words. You'll press start recording. Pan, pen. Map, mop. When you've finished reading all the words, you'll click done. I'm going to stop recording. So that's essentially all that you do. You just go through it and it records you doing it. So now it's saving it to Drive. Okay, and then if I'm not happy with it, I can edit it, I can trash it, I can do another one, I can do whatever I want to do. But now I just saved it to Drive. I'm going to download it to my computer because I want to be able to find it and name it. So I just downloaded it so I can have that. Okay. So now that I have this all recorded, now I want to get out of this because I don't want to save this. Again, I was kind of acting like I was a student and I didn't want to save it, so I got out of that. So now I have the video and I want to upload it. Okay, so I go into Add Multimedia Instructions. Okay, and it prompts me again I can upload something from my computer. So I'm going to upload it. I'm going to select it from my computer because I saved the file there, and I can see the video. It's with Seesaw number 2. And I'm going to open it. It's probably not available yet. It usually takes a minute to kind of process. But it's going to upload it as that video. Again, my internet might be a little slow, so this might be slow in doing it. See if that works. But that is essentially that. So we open up for questions while it's doing that. Yeah, so it's going to, yeah, there it is. So if I want to attach it to the attach item to activity, I press the check mark and it will now upload it. And you can see now it has the video attached. And then I would save it. Okay, and then it would come up like that. So it would have like, here's my directions with my little pen icon I did. Here's the directions, and then students would edit that template. So that is it. That is all created with it. So let's open this up for questions, because I'm sure you guys have a lot of questions and maybe about, how Screencastify works or how you do that. And I can also show you, I'm also going to show you a few other activities that I've done. So if I go into, I'm going to go back to my class, and I'm going to go on some of these activities that I created. Where's the one? Well, I'll actually show you through the templates. Why don't we open it up for questions first, and then I'll show you some others. Rahima, anything?
Nothing. Someone just asked, they might have missed this, but where do you get the pen and pan and map pics again?
Yeah, let me go back over that, sure. Okay, so let me pull up let me show you. Okay, so let's pull up this one. Okay, so what I had typed in here, like if I go into edit, you'll see what it looks like. Okay, so you see where it says select pen and there's 2 colons around it, and select mic and there's 2 colons. So you just put a colon around the word that you want to do the icon of. And so how I figured this out is by watching a Seesaw has a really quick little like 5-minute video on adding icons and directions. So I just, in Seesaw, I just, searched for how do I add icons and directions, and the video came up. I watched it. It's just super easy to do. And it tells you all of the words that you can make icons.
Yeah, and a couple people shared that link, so it's in the chat. I'll share it again.
Great.
Of how to make that, and then I'll put it in again. And then another question was, are the activities that you created, Katie, available to community activities?
Yeah, so I put the activities I've created in the units, the phonics units I wrote. I can add, so you can't add, I don't think you can add to the community activities. So like, this is my understanding, and somebody else could tell me if this is the truth or not. The community activities are from, you have to be an ambassador. I think you have to be a Seesaw ambassador to add to the community ones. But you can share your links with anybody. So like if I did kindergarten English language arts, like all of these community ones come up, but those are by these ambassadors. Yes, so what I could do is put some of, I haven't created that many of them. I've only created like 5 or 6 of them, but like definitely as we create them, we can put them into the Google Classroom. What other questions came up?
May said that if you have Seesaw for schools, you can create a school library. So then you could put the resources in like that.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah. And then Tammy asked, do we know if FMP is planning to publish the actual phonics lessons online, like they did with the reading mini lessons book? I don't know if you have.
I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Yeah. I think they would have done that already. Yeah.
That's all that's come up in the chat.
Okay,
so far.
Great. Okay, well then I'm going to show you now, like just kind of how to use other resources, because I just showed you with the, some of the F&P resources, but I want to show you.
Katie, going
yes.
out again.
Oh, I'm going out again. Shoot. Okay, let's see if it gets better. Yeah, my internet connection is unstable. Yes, it is. Thank you for that.
Katie.
Yeah. Yes.
Katie.
Can you not hear me at all?
You're going out.
Okay, I'm going to stop the share.
A little bit.
I'm going to stop the share and see if that gets any better. And then I'm going to go back in and just show you the resources. Yeah, I don't know what's wrong with my internet. I apologize. It's been a little wonky last night and today. So we'll just hope that it kind of gets a little better. Oh, wait, my husband's saying how do I use will you do it for me? Yeah, he's saying I can do a hotspot with my phone. So he's going to see if he can fix that while I continue. Okay, I'm going to share my screen again. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Can you hear me? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so now I kind of want to show you using some, so these are ones I've taken from the community. Like these are ones that those ambassadors or those other people have created that I snagged and put into mine. But I want to show you one that I created here that I think this one has the video. So I want to, yeah. Am I going out? Did it work, John?
Yeah, you just gotta go down the
So am I done?
no, you need it.
Oh wait, 1 minute. I got to connect to it through settings.
Wherever you are.
So is that what that? John, how do I connect to the hotspot?
You go to Wi-Fi one, and then
Go to your.
go to Wi-Fi.
Go to.
Oh, yeah,
Your settings.
This. Where's Wi-Fi? Internet? Or
Network.
should be down the tab down there.
network?
Network.
Yeah, and just find it and then plug in that code.
Wait, what happened? Here, sorry guys, I'm gonna try and make this work.
It should be
It's that
iPhone.
Right there. Miles.
It's not showing up there.
Okay. All right. It's not showing up.
No.
Is it
It's your iPhone.
iPhone? Got it. Okay.
Now plug in that password.
This one.
Okay. Where do I do that? Yeah. So join
All
it.
right.
I think you've done it before, Kate. You should just work on it. Same password all the time.
I'm just going to go back to the Tukla one, I think. It's not prompting me for the password, John. So maybe it's just working.
Yeah, it might be working. If you already plugged it in before, it should be working.
Okay. All right. Okay. Can you guys, are you still with me? Can you see me?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we're going to try this. Okay. Sorry about that. Let's go. Okay. So if I want to show you this activity. So this is, it has the voice instructions as well, but I want to show you the template. Okay, so this is one that I created just using, so the template in the back, the 2-column, is just a Word document. It's just, it's, or not a Word document, it's like a Google Doc with a table, with a 2-column table. So I just uploaded the Google Doc, and then I just added this clip art. So I just did screenshots of some clip art of the map and the pan that just came from the internet. And so then I wrote in, so that all of these boxes here, you actually can create any letters, words, and boxes by doing this. You click on this T box, and you can, I'm gonna move it, oops, it didn't work. So now you can do different styles. I can do this style, and I can fill it in a different color, and I can type a word, and then I can resize it where I can make it be smaller, and I can move it. So you can do anything with these. I can do what I did up here where I created a box with the line out. So you can really do, you can create different things with this. That then you can manipulate and move, and then all of these, you know, can then be clicked on and moved. So I can just click on this, and I can click on anything and move it in. So this is just a sort that I created using nothing but a Google Doc template, and then adding a bunch of, you know, you can add clip art and everything. Any questions about creating one of these?
No, not right now. A couple of things, just in terms of accessing the F&P resources, I know you put that in slide 7, but if they don't have an account, do they have to log in?
In order to access the F&P resources, you will have had to have accessed through your F&P Phonics kit, if you have one. In the book that comes in the kit with all of the lessons, the front cover has the access code. So you just need to use that access code to get in. If you've already done that, then you're in it. If you haven't, every teacher should have gotten a kit, I'm pretty sure, at all the schools. So you would just need to access that book, the code, and log in. And the link is on that slide. It's just Fountas and Pinnell resources, and then it just comes up.
And if you don't have access to that, is there?
If you don't have an F&P kit and with the book, then you don't have access to it. But if you do know of any other teachers that are using it, that are your same grade level, up to 5 teachers can be on any one code. So you could access another teacher's code if they give it to you, because 5 teachers can be on it.
Okay.
So it would be the other way.
And then May asked if you can use Google Docs as a template. She thought that maybe you could only use an image like a JPEG, but it seems like somebody responded with, you can use Google Docs as well.
You can use Google Docs. You can use any kind of background template you want to. I've seen people use photographs, documents, screenshots of different things. Like you can use anything as a background template. And you can see like some of these, like this one, which is one of the community ones that somebody created. It has like, she probably just did a Google Doc of this, and then these are the movable letters that she created. This is a matching like lowercase and uppercase letters, which you can do.
And then someone asked if you can edit community activities in Seesaw.
Yeah, I think you save them as your own, and then you can do any editing you want. You like make a copy of it, and you add it to your class. So I think what you do is, well, you get activity link. Yeah, you can edit the activity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. So it's very, there's another one, like here was a template that I used for another activity. Cause like, this is, again, it's a Google Doc, and I just did a table, and cause I wanted them to have the letters that they were then going to insert the letters. So I was going to create the letters in Seesaw, but I just uploaded this template. So you can do all sorts of different templates and different things that you can just have ready to go, and then just use the different little, manipulatives to make that work. Yeah. So I think that was the one that I was going to show you. Yeah, so that's pretty much kind of what I have to show you, and I'm definitely available for any questions or things. I think that I just barely started. Like I've only been doing this for a couple of weeks. I've seen incredible stuff on Seesaw, and also Screencastify to do any video directions for things. I think is really great. You can also do the Screencastify just as explicit instruction to really teach them what to do. Because you're doing the activity, and you could be talking about, why you're doing it, how you're doing it. So you could also do it beyond just directions for that.
Katie,
yes.
Larissa asked, did you have to do a screenshot of the Google Doc, or did you upload the actual Google Doc?
I actually uploaded the Google Doc. So like, for instance, like if I, like, let's see, I'm going to go, if I do this, right, I'm going to show you how I'm going to add that, the template I just showed you. So if I do create new activity, and I go into add template, and I do upload, I can then select from my computer, and I can do, let's see if I can find it, a document, and it's called, what's it called? It's called change. I think it's called change middle. Actually, maybe it's actually in here. Select from Google Drive. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to find it offhand. Yeah, but I wanted to show you just how I would add this, but it's in a Google Doc. It's not in my, I don't think it's in my computer, so I'm not sure how to, I can't, it's going to take me too long to find it. But you can just drop that file. So you can just select it from the computer, or select it from Google Drive, and drop it in there, and it'll drop it as an actual template.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I have a quick question.
Yes.
Oh, hi, by the way, my name is Julie. Sorry for
Hi, Julie.
checking in late. Hi, I am a paraeducator. And the sample that you showed, like the fan and the pan, is there a quick way that they can just slide the missing vowel? The vowel, there are three, CBC, like A, can just slide A down to them, like F, like P, blank N. So they can just slide it.
Absolutely. Like here's one that I can show you. So this is what, let's see how I, see if I can get into this one. Okay, so this is one I created. And so it's kind of what you were talking about, is like, So this was one, again, this was just an F&P template that has like read, make, write. So like here's sight words. So here's the sight words, and then here's all the letters. And so you can just like click on it and drag it. And so that's exactly what, you can do.
Oh, okay. Great.
Yeah, it's a really great resource.
It is.
Yeah, it's really cool because you can make words and write words, and this is just, again, it was really easy, because one thing that's great about these, like making these little letters, is let's say you've got this, I want to make like 20 letters, right? I mean, that could take you forever, but you have this duplicate, and you just duplicate them, and then
this is great for kids who he likes to learn using the manipulation, especially her hand.
Yeah, so you can and you can type in a new letter here, and this is really an easy thing to do, and you can create lots of them. So that's how that works.
Yeah, that's great. Thank you.
Yeah, because you could even write. So like if I wanted to, I could then write have. I mean, you're not using a pencil, you're using your mouse, but you can do lots of things like that.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then here's a little eraser. If I want to click on the eraser, I can erase it. So, you can show all of this in directions. So I think that's what's complicated, is if students haven't had access to Seesaw or these activities, they don't really know how to manipulate this. So the video instructions, I think, are really important to show them how to do the activity just by using the tools. So I think that's what's really helpful with that.
Yeah, thank you. It's great.
Yeah. Great. And I don't want to save any of this. Yeah. So anything else?
No, May just said that this is so cool. That's exciting. And that's really it. Somebody asked a question about accessing the webinars. I'm going to put the link in right now of how to access the webinars.
Great. And I recorded this. So despite my technical difficulties in the middle, I'm hoping it will be okay. All right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, and please feel free. Rahima, will you put my email in the chat? And so anybody can email me if you have any questions after that.
That would be great.
Especially if anybody has great ideas of how to share activities amongst each other, because I think that would be helpful.
Katie, can I just address one thing that's come up?
Yes.
So if for any reason you have not yet accessed your F&P Phonics Spelling and Word Study resources that pretty much every school has, there's only a couple that don't have those resources because they decided to go with the Calkins Phonics and Word Study. And you don't have access to the book to put the information, your password, please contact Naomi Sheelan. I put her email in the notes. Just let her know that you're a teacher in San Francisco Unified School District and what school you teach at. And I'm sure she will give you a temporary password so you have access to the online resources.
And then somebody asked, does Seesaw work on iPads?
Oh, I don't know. Does anybody know the answer to that? I'm sure it would.
Yeah, I remember at the digital day, there was a Seesaw person and we worked with iPads that day.
Oh, great.
A lot of people are saying yes, so great.
Yes, I am new to Seesaw, so unfortunately, I don't have I'm still exploring it. And I have found that just fooling around on it is the best way to learn.
Yeah. And Tina said that it works on iPads and Fire tablets, as long as you get the Seesaw app.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah, and Seesaw is actually also really good for math. Like it's really used for math. And if you go into that community of math activities, there's a lot of cool things there too, which are pretty much very similar to what I just showed you to create. Yeah.
A lot of thank yous, and this is really helpful
Great. I'm glad. And yeah, please reach out if you have any questions at all. And I will definitely put the recording up. So if you have other teacher friends who want to see it and were unable to make it, that they can watch it on their own time, and just tell them to bear with the technical difficulties.
Thank you so much. That
Yeah,
was great.
Thank you, Julie. Yeah, done early. Yay.
And then, sorry, Katie, is Gregory wants to know, is there a Spanish language community link?
Spanish language community link. Ah, that is a good question. I think there are Spanish resources within that. I think that actually if you, I'm wondering, let me go back to it. I'm wondering if, let's go into the activities. I wonder if you sort for Spanish. If I go into community, let's see if I did. There's, I wonder what world languages. Yeah, so here's some in Spanish. You probably also could even search Spanish. Yeah. Yes, so the answer is yes.
Thank you.
Yeah. See, I just learned something.
Yes.
Gregory says muy cool.
Muy bueno.
And Marissa Martinez, or Marisa, she says hi.
Hi, Marisa. Oh, there you are. I see you. You and Alexia. Great.
All right.
All right, folks, if no one has any other questions, I guess we'll sign out. But I thank you all for attending.
Oh, thank you so much for
Yeah.
having this great webinar discussion.
Great, yay. And yeah, email me anytime. I love to hear from folks in the field to see how these are really working, because we don't have the luxury, unfortunately, of doing it in front of kids. So I would love to see how it works out.
That's right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon.
All right. Happy teaching.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm gonna end this to record.
Hey, Katie, this is Karen. Do you have a second after the meeting?
Yeah, let me end this and then I'll call. Do you want me to call you?
Sure.
Okay.